Hello everyone, today's video I'll be reviewing the new Rob Zombie's Munsters remake. Before I get started, I decided next year I will continue more of my sci-fi September movie reviews of the month, and did something a little bit somewhat different today. Last night I just saw the new Rob Zombie's Munsters reboot. As I said in my reaction movie trailer, was interested, somewhat excited, and curious to see how Rob Zombie's would make his own version of the Munsters. Despite I was skeptical and worried about him doing a Munsters reboot because of his other horror movies like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpse, and worrying what if he'll make the Munsters like white trash like in Devil's Rejects. Before I get into my opinion about the movie, here's the basic plot to the movie. The Munsters reboot is about Lily meets Herman Munster, falls in love with him. Grandpa Munster does not approve, not thrilled about Lily getting married to Herman, thinking that she can do better. After a poor investment from Lily's werewolf brother, Herman and Lily and Grandpa Munster moved to LA to start a new life. This movie seems to be getting a mixed reaction reviews it's getting from fans of Rob Zombie and fans of the original Munsters TV show. For me personally, my own opinion, I did not hate or love it. I thought it was okay. It had some moments that were okay and other moments that were mediocre and I'll break it down and talk about the things that I liked and the parts that I did not care for about this movie. I'll start off by talking about the things I did not like about this movie. I was not impressed with the performances of Sheri Moon Zombie and Jeff Phillip Daniels as Herman and Lily. For some reason, I was not turned on or convinced by Sheri Moon Zombie's performance as Lily the same way I am with Yvonne DiCarlo as Lily from the original TV show. I had a hard time getting to Sheri Moon Zombie's performance as Lily Munster for some reason. Jeff Daniel Phillips, from what I've read, he is a fan of the original TV show. I feel like he tried too hard. He was not funny as the way Fred Gwynne was as Herman Munster. I found his jokes as Herman very stiff and weak. His pitch delivery was not good the same way as Fred Gwynne was, except for the parts when people saw his face and freaked out, ran away scared, or fainted. That was the only funny part of his jokes in this movie. Watching this movie bored me at times. I had a hard time getting drawn in or sucked into the Munsters. Rob Zombie tried too hard. I hate to say this, he can't write comedy. In my opinion, that's where the movie fails for me. It wasn't funny like the original TV show. That show and still always makes me laugh as a kid growing up, and it still does to this day, even as an adult, no matter how many times I've seen every episode. Some jokes were funny, other jokes flat, stale, and stiff, and too cheap. Also, I felt like Rob Zombie was going for Meet the Parents as a horror comedy because this is a prequel and a basic love story on how Herman and Lily met. And when Herman was created, it's like he was trying to go for a Young Frankenstein remake. This movie was 1 hour and 49 minutes. This could have been cut short to 1 hour and 20 minutes. This movie was 1 hour and 49 minutes. This could have been cut short to 1 hour and 20 minutes short. This movie did not need to be long at all. It's like he wanted this to be a potential pilot TV show for Netflix. Okay, here are some things I did like in the movie. I did like how Rob Zombie was paying tribute to the original TV show and noticing little Easter eggs like Grandpa Munster reading the same magazine as he did in one episode of the TV show. Seeing the Gillman as Uncle Gilbert was pretty cool and awesome. Or how the Munsters end up on Mockingbird Lane was interesting and explained. And I guess that was okay. Because of Lily's Wolfman's brother from a bad investment that Herman made with him was their reason for leaving Transylvania and moving to Los Angeles. It was cool seeing some Universal Monsters movie posters and clips when they were watching TV. Herman was watching Zombone TV, just like on the episode of the TV show that Eddie loved and watched. Daniel Roebuck was okay as Grandpa Munster. It felt like Al Lewis's presence was there, but I don't know why, his mustache made him look like Papa Smurf. It was funny when he was trying to create a husband for Lily Munster. He mixes a mixture of some personalities like Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, and he's about to add John Wayne, but then all of a sudden he sees the hat and finds a toupee, realizing, oh, I guess he really did wear a toupee after all. That was one of the okay funny jokes. I like the visuals of the movie. The Transylvania set designs were cool and awesome. The laboratory set paying homage and tribute to the classic Universal Monsters movies. The makeup of the Munsters characters looking almost identical to the original TV show were pretty cool. The part where Lily and Herman found the future pet Spot in Paris in a sewer on a honeymoon, I thought that was okay. Not how I would have imagined them finding Spot, but it is what it is at this point with that. I was hoping to see a real cool practical effect of Spot. If they make a sequel, I'd be curious to see how Rob Zombie would design a cool Spot compared to the original show. It's obvious, the original Spot was a puppet. That's a no-brainer on that one. Because in this movie, Spot is just basically like a puppy in a way. I don't know if it was me, or if I missed it. Where the heck was Butch Patrick's cameo in the movie, or was it cut out? I read he had a cameo in this movie, which makes sense because he's the original Eddie Munster. I just somehow missed that part in this movie. If they make a sequel to this movie, we'll see a new kid actor play Eddie Munster. I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to like this movie and have faith in Rob Zombie to make a good tribute to the original Munsters TV show and introduce a younger audience and getting them watch the original TV show. But I feel like it falls short for making me like this movie. This could have been done better. The jokes are the weak part of this movie is what prevents me from liking this movie. Also, nothing this movie is missing. It was not shot in black and white. I understand Rob Zombie wanted to make the movie in black and white, but I'm not 100% sure on why the studio would not allow him to make the movie in black and white. It was hard seeing the monsters in color, and seeing them in black and white would have been perfect. That'd be like they made a Universal Monsters movie in black and white, but oh yeah, right. I forgot they made those movies. It also surprised me it was not released in the theaters, instead it was released on Netflix. I tried looking into that, I could not find anything on that. For me, this was a one-time watch movie for me, and I have no interest to go back to rewatch over and over again. If they make a sequel, I don't know honestly. If it does better than this movie, just maybe. If it does bad, then I won't watch it and no review of it. If you're someone who loves the original Munsters TV show and are not interested or desperate or curious to see how this movie is, my advice, skip it. You might be disappointed. But if you're open-minded curious, then by all means, check it out and be your own critic, and be the judge of yourself how you interpret this movie. Before I end this video, here's my friend Jeremy giving his thoughts on the Rob Zombie Munsters movie.
I really enjoyed the new Munsters movie. I thought that it was a very nice tribute to the original TV show, which I've been a huge fan of since I was a kid. It had a lot of the campy charm that the show had, and I thought the Munsters were just as lovable as ever, especially Herman, played by Jeff Daniel Phillips. He definitely nails that big, hearty Herman Munster laugh. I had the pleasure of meeting him and Richard Brake at Chilla Theater back in 2016. They were both very nice and both do a great job in the movie. Daniel Roebuck does a great job channeling Al Lewis. I swear, he sounds just like him. The movie features a lot of the same kind of humor that the show did and has some wonderful tributes to it as well. It was an interesting idea to make the movie a prequel to the TV show, although I did miss Marilyn and Eddie. I also wish that more of the movie took place on Mockingbird Lane, but the scenes in Transylvania are still very entertaining. Rob Zombie is a huge fan of the Munsters, and it definitely shows here. As I mentioned before, there are lots of tributes to the original show, including cameo voiceover appearances from Pat Priest and Butch Patrick. I think it's wonderful to see how Herman and Lily both fell in love and see how their relationship develops. From Lily first seeing Herman on TV to them scaring people on their Paris honeymoon, it truly is a beautiful sight to behold. Well, I'll wrap it up here. All in all, if you're a big fan of the show like I am, you'll probably like this movie. Take care, everyone.
So that was my review of Rob Zombie's Munsters reboot. Originally, I wanted to do a top 10 favorite episode of the Munsters this October, but I decided to postpone that for next year in the near future. Like the video, subscribe, hit that bell button to get the latest updates on my YouTube channel, and I will see you next time.